Commander Zyl'ax's threat display just triggered the human's immune system, and now 3 solar systems are going dark. You dare insult the Crixian Empire's honor? Zyl'ax's cranial plates flared crimson, his secondary mandibles extending in the formal gesture of lethal intent. I hereby invoke the right of mortal challenge. You will die for this transgression, human. Emma Johnson blinked at him from across the negotiation table, pen still hovering over the trade agreement. What? I just said your pronunciation was close, but... The station's emergency klaxons drowned out her words. Council observer Azila's tablet exploded with warnings, each one more impossible than the last. Reality warping energy spike, dimensional barrier breach, quantum cascade failure. Her hands trembled as she stared at the readouts, then at the human, who was now fanning herself with the unsigned treaty document. According to YouTube analytics, 98% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free. Is anyone else hot? Emma asked, looking around the suddenly chaotic diplomatic chamber. Did someone mess with the thermostat? Ma'am, you need to evacuate immediately. Azila lurched from her observation seat, but her legs wouldn't cooperate. The gravity felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. Her species had survived for 60,000 years by recognizing existential threats, and every survival instinct she possessed was screaming at her to run from the pleasant-faced woman in business-casual attire. Evacuate? But we're in the middle of... Emma glanced at her phone. Oh no, what time is it? I have a dentist appointment at 4. 3 of Azila's 6 screens went black, not powered down, just absent. The stellar monitoring stations in the Vega sector had stopped existing. Sir, Dirax's voice cracked over Zyl'ax's comm unit. Sir, the threat assessment protocols, they're... Commander, readings indicate you just declared formal combat against a Class Omega entity. Zyl'ax's crimson plates faded to pale gray. Impossible. She's a human. They're non-combatants. Weak. Diplomatic specialists only. The sensors don't care what she is, Vexthul cut in, his transmission wavering like reality couldn't decide if it wanted to carry his voice. Whatever you did, it activated something. The quantum communication network is cascading. We're losing contact with... Static. Azila forced her legs to move, stumbling toward Emma, whose confused expression hadn't changed at all. The human's stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, norepinephrine, were reading on instruments designed to measure stellar radiation. They were breaching dimensional barriers, doing things biochemistry absolutely could not do. Emma Johnson, Azila managed, her vocal membrane barely functional. You need to calm down. Calm down, Emma laughed, genuinely confused. I'm not upset. I'm just wondering if we need to reschedule because, honestly, Dr. Patterson gets really annoyed when, Ma'am, 3-star systems just went dark. What? Emma stood up, concerned now. Is everyone okay? What happened? The question made it worse. Azila watched her instruments spiral into madness. Emma's heart rate had elevated, barely, maybe 10 beats per minute. And that tiny biological change was propagating across quantum frequencies like a shockwave. The human defensive response system didn't just exist in normal space, it existed in all space. Simultaneously. Commander Zyl'ax, Korvax's voice came through, barely a whisper. Ancient protocols, sir. Archive reference K88, the Sleeping Apex Accords. Sir, you need to withdraw the threat immediately. Zyl'ax stared at Emma, who was now checking her phone for directions to the nearest dental office. I withdraw my challenge. The threat is rescinded. Your honor is... Too late, Commander. Azila's senior supervisor, Council Director Jitaro, materialized via emergency transport, his medical scanner already trained on Emma. The human biological defensive cascade has already initiated. Withdrawal of stimulus doesn't terminate the response. What response? Emma looked up from her phone. Guys, seriously, what's going on? The lights are flickering, people are running, and I feel like I'm missing something really obvious here. Jotaro's scanner emitted a sound none of them had heard before, the device's equivalent of a scream. She doesn't know. By the first void, the human doesn't know what she's doing. Know what? Emma's voice rose slightly. Irritation, not fear. 4 more star systems blinked out of existence. Ms. Johnson, Azila said carefully, her training barely holding panic at bay. When Commander Zyl'ax threatened to kill you, how did that make you feel? Emma shrugged. I mean, annoyed. It seemed kind of rude, but I figured it was a cultural thing. You know how it is with different species. Last week, the Valorian delegate kept spitting at me, and that turned out to be a compliment, so... She waved her hand dismissively. I try not to take things personally in this job. Annoyed, Jotaro repeated, his scanner now showing readings that violated 14 different laws of physics. She's experiencing mild irritation, and reality is collapsing. Automated defense systems across the sector switched to evacuation protocols. Not because they detected an attack, because they detected something worse. A threat response system operating on frequencies that shouldn't exist, from a species that had somehow weaponized their own anxiety without realizing it. Emma checked her watch. Look, I really do need to go. Can we pick this up tomorrow? I promise I'll read through the whole treaty tonight, and we can iron out the pronunciation guide section. She smiled at Zyl'ax, completely genuine. No hard feelings about the death threat thing. I've had middle schoolers say worse to me. Zyl'ax couldn't speak. His threat assessment biology, designed to identify apex predators, had locked his entire motor system. Every instinct screamed that the creature before him could end his existence with a thought, and she was worried about being late to clean her teeth. Emma, please! Azila held up her hands in what she hoped was a calming gesture. I need you to take deep breaths, try to relax, think peaceful thoughts. Emma stared at her. Azila, I am relaxed. This is literally what my face looks like. She gestured at herself. Why is everyone running? Did I miss a fire drill announcement or something? Behind them, the diplomatic wing's emergency doors slammed shut as the last evacuees cleared the sector. Through the transparent aluminum viewport, Azila could see ships launching in every direction, fleeing the station like prey, scattering from a predator. Commander Zyl'ax! Jotaro snapped, his scanner array fully deployed around Emma, who was eyeing the equipment with mild interest. Formal withdrawal. Complete. Now. Zyl'ax's mandibles clicked rapidly, the Crixian equivalent of stammering. I, Commander Zyl'ax of the Crixian Third Fleet, do hereby formally and completely withdraw all threats, challenges, and declarations of hostile intent toward the human-designated Emma Johnson. Her honor is recognized. Her status is respected. The challenge is void. Cool, Emma said. Thanks. So we're good? No, Jotaro's scanner emitted a piercing whine. No, we are very much not good. The cascade isn't stopping. Ms. Johnson, your defensive response system doesn't have an off switch. My what now? Jotaro pulled up a holographic display that made Azila's stomach drop. Emma's biological signature was displayed across 14 different dimensional frequencies, each one pulsing with energy that shouldn't exist in normal space. The readings looked like a heartbeat, if heartbeats could unmake reality. This is impossible, Jotaro whispered. Your threat response operates across quantum, dimensional, temporal, and 3 types of space we don't even have names for. He looked at Emma with something between horror and awe. What are you? A middle school teacher? Emma pulled a sandwich from her bag. Sorry, I skipped lunch. Do you guys mind if I eat? Low blood sugar makes me cranky. She took a bite. Every scanner in the room shrieked. The quantum fluctuations synchronized with her chewing, the mechanical motion of her jaw somehow creating harmonics in space-time itself. Azila watched the energy readings spike with each bite, pulse with each swallow. Stop eating, Jotaro shouted. Emma froze mid-chew, eyes wide. Then she deliberately swallowed. Excuse me? I'm hungry. It's been a really weird day, and I'm not dealing with this on an empty stomach. The firmness in her voice, that teacher tone that brooked no argument, caused another surge. 2 more systems went dark on Zyl'ax's failing display. Sir, Dirax's voice crackled through Zyl'ax's comm. I found something in the ancient archives, the Sleeping Apex prophecies. Sir, they warned about this. Warned about what? Zyl'ax's plates had gone completely pale. Species that evolved as prey but became predators. They never lost their prey-fear responses, they just added predator capabilities on top. When threatened, both systems activate simultaneously. Dirax's voice dropped to a whisper. The ancients called them reality enders. They said the kindest thing such a species could do was forget they had the power. Emma took another bite of her sandwich, completely oblivious to the existential crisis unfolding around her. Vexthul, Zyl'ax managed. Cross-reference, any species that issued formal death threats to humans. The pause lasted 3 seconds. 3 seconds during which Zyl'ax watched Emma chew contentedly, scrolling through her phone with her free hand. Commander, Vexthul's voice came back hollow. 17 species in the database. All extinct. The most recent was the Corvathian Empire. They threatened a human trade negotiator 800 cycles ago. What happened to them? No one knows. They just stopped existing. All records end the same day. Emma noticed everyone staring at her. What? Is it the sandwich? She looked at her lunch. It's just turkey and Swiss. I can share if you want. There's plenty. She held it out toward Zyl'ax with such genuine kindness that the council observer felt tears forming. This creature, this being capable of unmaking civilizations, was offering to share her lunch because she thought they might be hungry. She doesn't know, Zyl'ax said quietly. By all the gods of war and peace, the human doesn't know what she is. How could she not know? Jotaro adjusted his scanners, trying to contain the energy. Each attempt made it spread faster, like trying to hold water in a sieve. Her species must have records, data, historical. We mostly have memes, Emma offered helpfully. And like Wikipedia, but half of it's wrong. She took another bite. Are you guys okay? You all look really pale. Well, paler than usual. Is that a thing you can do? Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and sighed. Oh man, I need to reschedule with Dr. Patterson. Do you guys have Wi-Fi here? Mine's not connecting. The quantum communication network is collapsing because of you, Zyl'ax said faintly. Oh. Emma looked genuinely apologetic. Sorry, is there a tech support number I should call? Korvax materialized beside Zyl'ax via emergency transport, took one look at the situation and started laughing. The sound was high-pitched, slightly hysterical. We're going to die because a human got annoyed, and she's worried about her dentist appointment. I'm not annoyed anymore, Emma protested, just confused, and hungry, mostly hungry. 7 more star systems went dark. The emergency council convened while Emma finished her sandwich and tried to figure out why her phone wouldn't connect to the station's network. The emergency transport deposited Supreme Council member Kael'thas directly into the diplomatic chamber with a flash of light that should have been dramatic but was, completely overshadowed by the reality-warping field emanating from Emma's general vicinity. Status, he barked, his 3 eyes already scanning the classified tablet in his upper manipulator arms. Supreme Council member, the human, Zyl'ax began, is flagged as a cosmological anomaly. Yes, I'm aware. Kael'thas pulled up files marked with security clearances Zyl'ax had never seen. Humans, us category, unknown. Threat level, paradoxical. Recommended action, keep comfortable at all costs. Emma finally looked up from her phone, noticing the newcomer. Then she noticed how everyone was pressed against the far wall, how Jotaro's scanners were arranged in what looked like a protective barrier, how Zyl'ax appeared to be quietly praying. Oh man, she said slowly. This is about the threat thing, isn't it? Yes, 6 voices answered simultaneously. Emma laughed. actually laughed and ran a hand through her hair. Guys, I get threatened all the time. It's really not a big deal. Last month, a kid told me he'd end my existence because I gave him a B-. Teenagers are dramatic. The readings spiked so sharply that Jitaro's primary scanner shattered. She gets threatened regularly? Kael'thas stared at his tablet. And survives? Well, yeah, Emma shrugged. I mean, they're not serious threats. People say stuff when they're upset. You just don't take it personally and move on. Move on, Kael'thas repeated. He pulled up another file, this one with evolutionary biology charts. Everyone listen carefully. Humans evolved as prey species. Small, weak, no natural weapons. Standard prey response biology. Fight or flight, stress hormones, threat assessment. Okay, Emma said, but then something changed. They became apex predators without losing the prey responses. They stacked predator capabilities on top of prey biology. Kael'thas's voice rose. When threatened, both systems activate. The prey response makes them seem vulnerable, helpless, but the predator response... He gestured at the failing instruments. It rewrites local physics to eliminate the threat. That sounds fake, Emma said. I'm pretty sure I can't rewrite physics. Your sympathetic nervous system is currently operating across 14-dimensional frequencies, Jitaro shouted, then caught himself. Sorry. Indoor voice. Don't want to stress the human. Emma looked around at the terrified faces. Okay. Everyone needs to calm down. You're all working yourselves up over nothing. She took a deep breath, held it, then released slowly. See? Like this. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Basic stress management. She demonstrated again, her chest rising and falling in the practiced rhythm of someone who'd done a lot of therapy breathing exercises. 2 of the 3 failing star systems stabilized. What? Kael'thas checked his readings. What did she just do? Breathing, Emma said. It helps with anxiety. I teach it to my students all the time. Jitaro was frantically calculating on his backup scanner. If she could consciously control this, if a human actively tried to weaponize their threat response... His voice trailed off. The entire galaxy. Gone. Just gone. Emma burst out laughing. Weaponize anxiety? Are you serious? She wiped her eyes. Why would anyone weaponize anxiety? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I take medication to not feel anxious. I do breathing exercises. I go to therapy every other Tuesday. You medicate against your own defensive capabilities? Azila asked weakly. Yeah, it's called Zoloft. Works pretty well, actually. Emma pulled a water bottle from her bag, though I probably should have taken it this morning. I was running late because, okay, funny story. My cat knocked my alarm clock off the nightstand, so I overslept, and then there was traffic, and I forgot to grab my meds on the way out. The silence was absolute. You're not medicated right now, Kael'thas said flatly. Nope, probably explains why I'm handling this whole weird situation so well, actually. Usually I'd be way more anxious about... She stopped. Wait, is that bad? You all look like that's bad. Ms. Johnson, Kael'thas said carefully, what exactly is your profession? Middle school teacher, 7th grade English. Emma smiled proudly. I'm actually here on a cultural exchange program. I won an essay contest about interspecies cooperation. The prize was a 6-month diplomatic rotation. She laughed. Honestly, I just wanted something to put on my resume. Teaching jobs are competitive back home. Middle school, Azila repeated. You spend your days surrounded by juvenile humans. Yeah, that's kind of how teaching works. Juvenile humans who threaten you. Oh, constantly. But they're kids, you know? They don't mean it. They're just learning emotional regulation. Emma's face softened. They're actually pretty great once you understand them. Korvax made a small choking sound and collapsed. Vexthul caught him before he hit the floor. Is he okay? Emma took a step forward, concerned. Stay there, everyone shouted. Emma froze. Okay, Now I'm starting to feel like you guys are being weird about this. Weird, Zyl'ax mumbled from his position behind a support column. She thinks we're being weird. Kael'thas pulled up more files, his manipulators trembling. Humans teach their juveniles in confined spaces, while those juveniles are learning to control their own threat response systems, which means human adults are exposed to constant, low-level threats from smaller humans. He looked at Emma with dawning horror. You're all desensitized. I mean, I wouldn't say desensitized, Emma said. More like experienced. Another star system flickered. Stop talking about it, Jotaro begged. Okay, serious question. Azila had moved closer, though every instinct screamed at her to run. How do we turn this off? Deactivate your defensive response? Emma tilted her head, thinking. I mean, usually I just go home, watch some TV, maybe have a glass of wine. Oh, and I like to take a bubble bath. That helps. She brightened. Do you guys have bubble bath here? The lavender kind is really good for stress. Kael'thas was already on his communicator. I need human entertainment content. Now, and ethanol-based beverages, human-safe varieties. Also, he paused. What's bubble bath? On it, sir, someone responded. We have Earth's entire entertainment database in the cultural archives. Deploying now. Within 2 minutes, a portable viewing screen materialized in front of Emma, along with what looked like the entire contents of a human bar. Oh, you guys have wine. Emma selected a bottle of Pinot Grigio. Nice. What should I watch? Whatever makes you feel peaceful, Jotaro said, his voice strained. Calm, unthreatened. So not action movies, got it. Emma scrolled through options. Ooh, they have The Great British Baking Show. Perfect. She settled into a chair someone had frantically materialized, poured herself a generous glass of wine, and started an episode about Bread Week. The change was gradual. Azila watched her instruments as Emma relaxed, as her shoulders dropped, as she got invested in whether someone's sourdough would rise properly. The dimensional frequencies began to settle. The quantum fluctuations smoothed out. Reality started remembering how to be reality again. Meanwhile, Kael'thas was scrolling through human history files with increasing disbelief. They survived an ice age by inventing clothing, he muttered. They survived extinction-level asteroid impacts and just kept going. Supervolcano eruptions, ice age, plague that killed half their population. They complained, adapted, and moved on. He looked up. Every single one of these events would have ended any other species. Humans just got annoyed about it. Is that weird? Emma asked, not looking away from her show. Oh no, his dough is too wet. Yes, Kael'thas practically shouted. Yes, that's weird. That's impossibly weird. Zyl'ax had been standing rigid in the corner for the past 20 minutes, trying to find the words. Finally, he approached Emma slowly, like one might approach a sleeping predator. Ms. Johnson, he began, I must offer formal apology. My threat was disrespectful, inappropriate, and… Emma waved him off without looking away from the screen. Dude, it's fine. You didn't know. Nobody got hurt, right? 3-star systems nearly collapsed, Jotaro said quietly. Emma glanced at him, then back at the screen. But they didn't, though. So we're good. She took a sip of wine. Honestly, I probably overreacted too. I should have just asked for clarification instead of getting annoyed. Communication is important. You think you overreacted, Azila said faintly. Yeah, I mean, cross-cultural stuff is hard. I should have been more patient. Emma smiled at Zyl'ax. We're cool. Don't worry about it. The moment she forgave him, really, genuinely forgave him, something shifted. Azila's instruments lit up like a supernova in reverse. The quantum destabilization didn't just stop, it reversed. Systems that had been dark for the past hour suddenly reconnected, restored, functioning perfectly. She decided the threat was over, Jotaro whispered. She consciously decided to let it go, and reality just complied. Kael'thas was staring at his readings. It's unconscious. The control is completely unconscious. She manages it through emotional state without even knowing she's doing it. He pulled up communication to the full council. Emergency protocol implementation. As of now, threatening any human is a Class Omega violation. Enforcement, immediate and absolute. What's the penalty? Someone asked over the comm. Survival, Kael'thas said grimly. The penalty for threatening a human is that you might survive the experience. Emma finished her wine and checked the time. Oh, good. It's only 3:30. I can still make my dentist appointment if I leave now. She stood, smoothing her skirt. So should we reschedule the negotiation talks? I'm free tomorrow morning. I can come in early, say 9-ish? Yes, Azila said immediately. 9 is perfect. We'll have everything ready. Awesome. Emma gathered her bag, her phone, her half-finished sandwich. Thanks for the wine, by the way. That was really thoughtful. She headed for the door, then paused. Oh, and Zyl'ax. Your pronunciation actually was pretty good. I was trying to give you a compliment. Sorry if that wasn't clear. Zyl'ax's plates flickered through several colors. Thank you. No problem. See you guys tomorrow. Emma waved and left, humming to herself. The door closed behind her. For a long moment, nobody moved. We need new protocols, Kael'thas said finally. All of them. Every single first contact, diplomatic and military procedure needs to be rewritten with one core principle. Keep the humans happy. Not safe? Azila asked. The humans are the safety concern, Kael'thas said. We need to keep them happy so we stay safe. Somewhere in the distance, a star system that had been dark for an hour suddenly blazed back to life. Emma Johnson had forgiven them, and reality had adjusted accordingly. The Galactic Council's emergency session lasted 6 hours. The vote on the Human Threat Prohibition Act took 4.3 minutes. All in favor of making threats against humans a Class Omega violation, punishable by immediate diplomatic severance and potential species-level sanctions. Every hand, tentacle, pseudopod, and appendage in the chamber rose instantly. Motion passes unanimously. Supreme Council Leader Vixara didn't even bother with the traditional ceremonial delays. Next item, personnel consequences. Commander Zyl'ax stood before the council, his plates a muted gray of shame. I accept full responsibility for... You're demoted to cultural liaison, effective immediately, Vixara cut him off. You will attend human cultural sensitivity training, all 600 hours of it. You will pass. Do you understand? Yes, Council Leader. Good. You're also alive, which means you're luckier than you deserve. Dismissed. 2 weeks later, Emma sat across from Azila at the station's cafe, reading her new contract with increasing amusement. So let me get this straight, Emma said, trying not to laugh. You're paying me, she checked the number again, this much money to be a consultant for human harmlessness maintenance? That's correct. Azila sipped her drink, watching her tablet nervously. Emma's stress levels were pleasantly low. Your job is to exist peacefully and advise us on keeping other humans peaceful. Emma burst out laughing. That's the easiest job ever. I'm literally getting paid to not be stressed out. This is amazing. We're very serious about this, Azila said, though Emma's laughter was infectious. The Council has created an entire department, Human Emotional Stability Monitoring. You made a whole department? With a budget larger than military defense. Emma nearly spit out her coffee. You're kidding. I assure you, I am not. Azila pulled up the organizational chart. 300 staff members, real-time monitoring of all human diplomatic personnel, emergency response teams trained in human comfort protocols. That's insane, Emma said, still grinning. We're just people. You're really not, though. Across the station, Jotaro was putting the finishing touches on his paper. Apex Predators Who Forgot Their Apex Predators, a survival guide for galactic diplomacy. It had already been flagged as required reading for all diplomatic corps, military leadership, and first contact teams. His conclusions were simple. Humans are the most dangerous species in known space. They have no idea they're dangerous. Keep them comfortable, fed, and unstressed. Never, ever threaten them. If you must decline a human request, do it nicely. The paper included a whole section on human comfort items, coffee, Wi-Fi, reasonable working hours, and something called personal space. 3 new human diplomats arrived the following week, part of the expanded cultural exchange program. They were immediately confused by the treatment they received. "Why does everyone keep asking if we're comfortable?" Michael Chen asked, bewildered by the 3rd comfort check in an hour. "Is the temperature okay?" Patricia Anderson had been offered 7 different beverage options. "Because I'm fine, really." Kael'thas pulled them aside for a private briefing. "I need you all to understand something. For galactic stability, we need you to stay calm, happy, unstressed." "Okay," Michael said slowly. "We have resources available. Anything you need. Entertainment, food, accommodations. If something bothers you, anything at all, please tell us immediately." "This is weird, right?" Patricia whispered to Michael. "This feels weird." "So weird," he agreed. Meanwhile, Emma was texting her friend back on Earth. "Emma, you won't believe what happened at work." "Sarah, try me, Emma. So this alien dude threatened to kill me, and apparently I almost broke physics." "IDK, they were really dramatic about it." Sarah. "What?" Emma. "Yeah, it was a whole thing. Systems went dark, people evacuated." "But it's fine now, Sarah. Are you okay?" Emma. "Oh yeah, I'm great. They gave me a raise and free coffee, also wine. The wine here's pretty good, actually." Sarah. "Emma, you almost died." Emma. "Nah, they're just overdramatic. Everyone's super nice now, though. Kinda weird, but nice." In the monitoring center, Azila watched her screens carefully. Emma's stress levels, optimal. Other human diplomats, slightly confused but not distressed. Galactic stability, maintained. She'd been doing this job for 2 weeks, and already couldn't imagine how they'd functioned before. The safest beings in the galaxy were the ones who could destroy it by having a bad day. The irony wasn't lost on her. Emma waved goodbye as she left for the day, her bag full of papers to grade. "See you tomorrow, Azila." "Oh, I'm bringing cookies. My mom's recipe. They're really good." "Cookies," Azila said faintly, already pulling up her tablet. Korvax appeared beside her. "I'll log them as potential Class 3 diplomatic gifts." "Should we analyze them first?" "For what?" "I don't know. Safety?" He paused. "Can human baked goods be weaponized?" "Everything about humans can be weaponized," Azila said. "They just choose not to weaponize it. That's literally the only reason we're all still here." She watched Emma disappear around the corner, humming that same tune from her baking show. A human middle school teacher who'd accidentally nearly ended 3-star systems because someone was rude to her, who'd fixed the problem by watching TV and drinking wine. Who was now bringing cookies? The universe had adjusted to a new truth. Humans were friends. Not because they couldn't be threats, but because making them threats ended everything. The key to galactic survival was surprisingly simple. Keep the humans happy, and for the love of all that was sacred, never threaten them. Emma's text notification pinged. "Sarah, please be careful, Emma, always am." Azila's instruments showed a tiny spike. Happiness, contentment, social connection. Halfway across the galaxy, a star burned just a little brighter. The end.